We're going to be answering the evaluation question: how does your product use, develop and challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
So first we had to decide a soundtrack for our trailer, and because I take music A-level, we were able to deconstruct John Williams' theme for Jurassic Park, where we discovered that the main form of a soundtrack is to have a memorable 4-bar motif that repeats throughout, so the audience will be able to pick up on this and remember it and sing it at a later date. Due to this, we picked an upbeat piece of music with a few memorable bits of the piece, which you can hear in our trailer.
We also used the Bath's Enigma code to gain interest from our audience, and we noticed that this was present in a lot of film trailers. One that I deconstructed, The Hunger Games, used the Enigma code, not giving too much away, so that the audience want to see the complete film.
Also, during action-adventure films, we discovered that a narration of a main character is a form that is used often. And for the audience gets to know some parts of the personality of the character, therefore we use the narration of Victor on 2 occasions throughout, describing briefly what the narrative of the story will be.
We also used Todorow's new idea of new equilibrium. So at the rather than in our trailer, at the end of the whole film plot, once the problem has been solved, a new equilibrium is presented through the use of someone watching over the new family to present danger and things like that. So then if there was ever to be a sequel, then that could lead on to that.
We also discovered that using short bursts of action will keep an audience engaged and involved in our film. Therefore, during our trailer, the action starts quite slowly, however builds up to the main action towards the end.
Another convention of action-adventure trailers that we used was the use of really fast editing, so putting short cuts all together, giving the appearance that the action is extremely fast. When one of the trailers that I deconstructed, which was Suicide Squad, used this noticeably.
We developed our genre by adding the subgenre of horror, which can be seen using some of the weapons we have and narrative, which is quite brutal, with all the killings and stuff, which isn't always considered a typical convention of action-adventure genre.
Another development that we made of action-adventure conventions was the representation of women. So incorporating Laura Mulvey's male gaze, we decided that we could have an attractive female lead, yet not sexualise her enough to make her weak and apply to Laura Mulvey's male gaze. We wanted to incorporate a beautiful action hero that is attractive to a male audience, but is not solely used for the purpose of sexualization, and instead you can be a strong, bold, independent female character whilst being beautiful and attractive. A similar example of this would be someone like Lara Croft.
We challenged many conventions during the making of our trailer. For example, many action-adventure films are set in a modern city with very high-tech components to the film. However, we decided we would want to make our film more relatable for an audience like ourselves, therefore set it in an unknown rural location with less high-tech weapons such as knives and guns, so our audience would feel like they could too be involved if they so wished.
The main way that we challenged action-adventure conventions was by making our action hero a female. So originally, when the plot was created, we had a male action hero, but after talking to people in focus groups, surveys, they said that this was so stereotypical and in fact it just used genre conventions a little bit too much. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. So then we decided to have a female action hero, and it changed the dynamics of our film completely, providing more representation for women in an industry where they lack it so much.
We also changed the number of key characters, because as an action-adventure film, you usually get, like in props character roles, you get the hero, the helper to the hero, the villain, and you might get like the damsel in distress or the princess. However, we decided we'd have around 8 key characters, which are all the characters which have been kidnapped by Victor. Therefore, an audience would have someone to relate to within our characters.
And we also used mise-en-scène to challenge genre conventions, as our lead character, Taylor Zidell, does not have an iconic costume or an iconic symbol. So someone like Katniss Everdeen with the Mockingjay, or Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad with the Daddy's Little Monster costume. These are iconic costumes that are recognisable across the world. Even if you haven't seen the film, you know who they're talking about. But whereas we decided to put our lead role in all black, just to represent how like cool she is, rather than actually creating a costume. No, rather than creating a fantasy type costume.
Cool.
Cool.